As I said, I'm not tacky. I actually don't play I never play mobile game or anything like that. I use my gadget purely for communication and business. Meaning honestly, I have 4 mobile phones and one PC and one, should I call iPad, whatever it is, with me, when I travel, be it for business or for personal communication. I am someone who wanted to be in touch with the world on a daily, hourly, minute basis. So I watch a lot of, current information and everything from, different websites. So that's why I need, I would say, tools to get myself be informed of what's happening in the world. I always believe in, embrace, change and for convenience.
We said that we could actually bring the products that are less sophisticated for the seniors. I would like to challenge that, simply because I think the seniors that are 70s and 80s were actually a very different lot of people from the people who are like 50s, 60s. Their needs, their affluence and all that is very different. We may not need less sophisticated devices. We actually can handle more sophisticated devices. I think that is actually quite important to differentiate that not all seniors are the same. Not just individual needs, but the band of seniors that you are handling has to be differentiated.
Yeah. So we actually learn about cohort. So basically, there are different cohort of people where they grew up in a different environment in a historical time and also through their experiences. So some are probably more familiar with technology, especially the young old, whereas those who grew up probably in the pioneer generation, they may not have exposed to that during their school time. So they are taking more time to learn. But in the end, it's also where how they find the value. Because a lot of time, we cannot also stereotype that an 80-year-old will not know how to learn how to use a smartphone. Because if he finds there's a value for him to talk to his grandson using that smartphone and taking his own pictures, sending it over a WhatsApp, I'm sure he will learn, because that is a strong motivation for him. So again, yes, there will be a cohort effect, but stereotyping is not to be seen as if you are at that cohort, you will behave that way. So similarly, I think anybody who's doing technology for the senior group, they have to understand who they are designing for and what are the value they bring to the table.
My mom is 84 and she drives and she is very motivated, of course, to use the phone for WhatsApp. She WhatsApp me pictures and all, You're right, you cannot stereotype.
Well, let me share a personal experience also. If my sister, who is now in Hong Kong, is watching, I'm now talking about you. So she's one of my closest sister, and at one time she was in the Vancouver airport, and it was the first time that she really went to the information counter asking, how could I connect to Wi-Fi? And she was 65 years old. Well, now that to her is a big step to go on to the technology and internet. Right? Normally, it's a 9-year-old who's saying that, well, the first thing into an airport is getting Wi-Fi. And she tried to get connected to the Wi-Fi. She couldn't. So she went to the information center and asked how to get it on. Of course, she did get on the Wi-Fi there. Now, that is one example of saying that, well, talking about stereotype, talking about the perception about the senior, and if I may reinforce the heterogeneous nature of the senior nowadays, to those designers for technology, to those people who are really working in the senior field there, please really look at different cohorts, look at different segment, different section within this 1.3 billion seniors by 2030. Then we may have come up with better technology, more popular technology for the senior there. So there's a little bit of the sharing on a personal basis.
Point to share is like nowadays the market, like seniors or young adults, like equivalent, the differences, the preferences and the needs are getting more and more diverse. So we definitely have to consider when it comes to be it service or product design, there's really a lot more to consider as compared to in the past time. So as and also not to have the kind of stereotype, the ageism, thinking that seniors are not open. Sometimes it's like not just seniors, sometimes even youngsters, depending on their personality and their character, like people learn at different timing. So I think more understanding, more openness, it's really even more needed in today's world.